Man, I hope y'all got some time to spare because we are about to go over a tremendous amount of awesome Pokemon card auctions. What's going on, everybody? Top 10 Pokemon back, and today, yes, it is true, I will be reviewing the top Pokemon card auctions of the week. And let me tell you what, folks, we have a mind-bending amount of auctions to go through on eBay, auctions from PWCC, a crazy auction block. And I mean crazy auction block from Heritage Auctions, featuring a Trophy Kangaskhan, a first edition base set booster box, and even a PSA 9 Pikachu Illustrator card, amongst many other high-end cards that came through. We're going to cover all that and more, so please stay tuned. Thank you so much for being a subscriber to this channel. I appreciate it more than you know. So if you've used my affiliate link in the past, I encourage you to keep doing so because it is really motivating me and really supporting the channel. So thank you so much. Alright folks, you know what time it is. It's time to dive into these auctions of the week. Let's start out on eBay, and let's start with some Astral Radiance. Astral Radiance cards, particularly the alternate art cards, were absolutely crushing it this week. Let's go over a few examples. We had this Beedrill V alternate art that sold raw for $43. We had a Starmie V sell for $40 this week. We had two Origin Form Palkia V cards. One sold for $57. The other one sold for $56. We also saw this Hisuian Sneasler V that sold for $63. This Origin Form Dialga V sold for $82. And then we saw a few Machamp V alternate art cards. This one here sold for $120. Another one sold for $142.50. And only one graded Astral Radiance card that I could find was the CGC 10 Pristine Origin Form Dialga V-Star that sold for $102.50. I'm sure in the coming weeks we'll be seeing a bunch of Astral Radiance cards coming through in auction, so be looking forward to that. Alright, some more very interesting modern sales. Here is a CGC 10 Pristine Venusaur Holo from the Celebrations Classic Collection, sold for $103.50. And then we saw this, also from the Classic Collection, the Charizard Holo in PSA 10, sold for $230, which is the lowest I have seen this card ever sell for at auction. Which is still, when you consider the population of this card, still a pretty high number, but I never thought it'd get below 300, so 230 was quite surprising to me. We also saw a holographic Mew from Evolution set that sold as a PSA 10 for $255 this week. Now, I told y'all to be investing in this card, remember? A couple months ago? This Mew card got down to like $100, $110. Now, $255, so yeah. And then here, check this out, folks. We saw a long line of these Charizard V promo cards from Champion's Path, all PSA 10, that sold for around $45, $46. Is anybody else like blown away by the fact that this card has been graded by CGC and PSA like over 60,000 times and is still going for over $40? Does anybody else think that's crazy? Is it just me? And then we also saw this card in a Black Label BGS 10 sell for $1,100 this week. Alright, from Brilliant Stars, we saw an alternate art Charizard V. Now last week, this card sold for $400. We're getting kind of worried, because $400 is pretty low for this card, but this week, we saw a few sales that really upped the ante. This one sold right here for $510, and we saw another sale for $560. And as usual, the Umbreon V Max is killing it. This week, a PSA 10 sold for $630. Then we saw a BGS 10 sell for $910. And then a couple of other alternate art Brilliant Stars cards that we really don't cover. Here's an Octillery in PSA 10 that sold for $66. We saw this Vaporeon VMAX. This isn't from Brilliant Stars, but it's an alternate art, and it sold for $242. And then here's the one from Brilliant Stars, and it sold for $127. And we also saw last week a bunch of the full art trainer cards selling for some big bucks. Let's see if they had a repeat performance this week. Here is a Welder full art card from Unbroken Bonds. It sold for $112.50. And may I say, she's looking pretty hot. Ayo! Also from Unbroken Bonds, we saw a Greens Exploration in PSA 10 that sold for $182. Now, not all of the full art trainers did well this week. This full art Sonya from Rebel Trash sold as a PSA 10 for only $66. A full art Lily from Sun and Moon base set sold for $204. The full art Zinnia from Dragon's Majesty sold for $306 this week. And this Japanese Rosa full art trainer card sold this week for $351. Along with the Japanese full art Greens Exploration from the Tag Team GX All-Star set that sold for $382 US. From Evolution set, we saw a reverse holographic Charizard in PSA 10 sell for $510. A full art promo Charizard EX card sold as a PSA 10 for $605. And the Mega Charizard EX from Flashfire set sold this week for $1,780. Alright, now on to some vintage cards. We saw a bunch of fossil cards come by, first edition PSA 10s. Here's an Aerodactyl that sold for $710. The first edition Kabutops sold for $785. The first edition Haunter sold for $504. And a first edition holographic Dragonite sold for $4,300. A couple of Team Rocket cards. Here's a first edition Dark Alakazam that sold for $455. And then here we had an SGC-10 Dark Blastoise first edition holo that sold for $610 this week. A few very noteworthy cards from Gym Challenge. Here's a Rockets Mewtwo first edition that sold for $1,484. The Rockets Zapdos sold for $1,265, and the Koga's Beedrill sold for $1,375. One Shining card in Shining Charizard, Unlimited PSA 10 sold for $4,200. We had one E-Series card in Holographic Flareon, PSA 10 from Skyridge, sold for $1,025. And then from EX Team Rocket Returns, we had the Rockets Mewtwo EX, and sold for $2,186. And then we had a handful of reverse holographic cards from Legendary Collection. Here's a reverse holographic Dodrio that sold for $405, a Golduck that sold for $355, the Ivysaur that sold for $415, and then the Venusaur sold this week for $2,235, while the Charizard sold for a whopping $12,200. A couple of very interesting auctions from TCA Gaming. Here is a Japanese first edition Gengar holo from the Expedition set that sold for $580. A Powerhouse card in the English variant as a PSA 10. And then here's a Junior Rally Pikachu Japanese promo. I've never seen this card before. It's pretty interesting. It has Pikachu there doing some kind of move with Mewtwo's legs in the background. Pretty cool. Sold as a PSA 10 for an even $700 this week. He also sold a PSA 10 Gold Star Raikou for $990, and then had a bunch of the higher end WotC Black Star promos come through. Here is a holographic Cool Vaporeon that sold as a PSA 10 for $305. Here is a Dark Persian promo that sold for $430. The Meowth Game Boy promo sold for $660. The holographic Mew sold for $988. And this Pokemon Center Trainer card sold for $779 this week. And to finish up the auctions on eBay, we have this very interesting sale of Slowking. This is a PSA 10 Unlimited Holo from Neo Genesis. Now, a week or two ago, this card sold for $11,200. This week, it sold for $6,600. So nearly half the amount than that of the one that sold 1 to 2 weeks ago. Who knows? Maybe the other one was shill bidded. We don't know. But it's interesting to see this card in two different certs come through with only a population of 7 in the world in a matter of 1 to 2 weeks. All right, on to the PWCC weekly auction recap. Here is a Autumn Battle Road Japanese promo that sold for $4,560. The Dark Dragonite No Holo Error card, this is the unlimited version, sold as a PSA 10 for $5,400. Very low population card, only 13 PSA 10 copies exist. The Japanese Gold Star Rayquaza in PSA 10 sold for $5,640. A PSA 9 No Damage Ninetales came by, sold for an even $6,000. An unlimited base set Charizard holo sold for $9,900 this week. And the University Magikarp Japanese promo in PSA 8 sold for $19,200. And the Tropical Mega Battle Japanese promo, also in PSA 8, sold for $26,400 this week. And to finish off the auctions of the week, we have a bunch of very, very high-end cards and booster boxes from Heritage Auctions. Let's go over just a handful of them that I found very, very interesting. Here's a Crystal Celebi from Skyridge, PSA 10, sold for $2,520. And the Crystal Ho-Oh sold for $3,840 this week. A gorgeous holographic Umbreon from Skyridge sold for $3,240. And a first edition PSA 10 Shining Charizard sold for $9,120. We saw another reverse holographic Charizard from Legendary Collection. This one sold for $10,800. And then we saw a line of the 25th anniversary corporate history deck trading cards. These are some of the cards that were given out to the Pokemon Company staff, illustrators that are affiliated with the Pokemon Company. Here is a Pikachu and Zekrom GX that sold as a CGC 9.5 for $4,560. A CGC 9.5 Japanese Mew EX sold for $4,920. And the CGC 9.5 Japanese Charizard here sold for $25,200. Here is an auction that had nothing to do with Pokemon cards. It's a pair of Converse given to one of the employees, sold this week for $7,500. I guess it has like a unique Pokemon design on it. Definitely limited. It's a size 10.5 men's or 12.5 in women's. So there's that. We saw a PSA 10 Master Scroll promo sell this week for an even $12,000. An Illusion Zoroa promo card sold as a PSA 10 for $7,200. And here we had an Illusion Zoroark also in PSA 10, and it sold for $13,200. And then here is another Illusion Zoroark. This is the third grade winner, also in PSA 10, and it sold for $3,360. A PSA 10 Mystery Pearl Winter Challenge card sold this week for $6,300. And a 2005 Japanese promo Victory Ring card in PSA 10 sold for $21,000 large. Here was a Mew Victory Orb promo in BGS 9.5 condition that sold for an even $15,000. With another Victory Orb card, this one is a PSA 10, and it sold for $9,900. Here is a CGC 8 Tropical Mega Battle promo card. It sold for $16,800. And then here is a number 3 Trainer Tropical Mega Battle promo card. Got the CGC 8.5 and sold for a grand total of $49,854. And we're going to finish off this auction recap with a bang. Here is a PSA 9 Trophy Kangaskhan card, sold for $81,000 this week. A sealed Deoxys booster box sold for $40,800. And the first edition base set booster box sold this week for $204,000, which is pretty low compared to the sales we've seen in the past 1 to 2 years. You think it was a case of maybe uncertainty with the buyers? I know I would be pretty worried about getting a resealed box considering the history of this booster box, but yeah, this one this week, if it's legitimate, it sold for $204,000. And of course, I'm giving the auction of the week to the PSA 9 Pikachu Illustrator card that came through an auction, and it sold for a grand total of $840,000. Oh, man. So many auctions. Thank you so much for sticking around. I really, really appreciate it. Be sure to give this video a big old thumbs up because I put a lot of time into the research and production of this video. But I do love doing it, so thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know what you thought of these auctions in the comments below. And that's it. That's all I got. I'll see you in my next one.